About 4 or 5 years ago, my buddy called to say he shot a doe, but she ran into the woods and wanted an extra set of eyes to help track. I got my stuff together and headed over. By the time I got to the farm, it was dark out, so we headed out across the field. While approaching the tree line, I noticed what appeared to be a porch light through the woods. So I asked him how far off the house was and what other houses were around. He assured me there were no houses or anything. I assumed he was confused, so I pointed the light out to him and he was baffled. At this point, we were 200 yards from the tree line, and without anything to compare the light to it, was hard to tell how far into the woods the light was, but it appeared to be, so it's about then we realized the light is moving towards us. But not like someone walking with a flashlight or headlamp. There was no sweeping, no up and down bobs, and was about 8 feet off the ground. This is not easy terrain either. It had been logged years before, so the underbrush was extreme. Mix that in with the old skidder ruts and everything else. We immediately knew something was off about it. It moved smooth as butter and completely silent through the woods. When the light eventually got to the field, it stopped for a moment and traveled to the left, from our perspective. For about 50 yards, stopped, went up about 15 feet, then back down, then back up. I turned to my buddy and asked if we should get closer to it. I don't know why, I guess I'm a curious individual. Without missing a beat, the only thing he had to say was a why, right when he said that it was as if the light focused in on us. Like we had surprised it or something, and the entire area around us lit up with a dim light, almost as if it was a full moon, but only directly over us. There was no moon in the sky this night. We were both officially freaked out and agreed. It was time to get out of there and hightailed it back across the field. We went back for the deer the next morning and spoke briefly about what we had seen, but were just as stumped as the night before. Several weeks went by, and I decided to tell my dad about it. He's friends with a guy who owns property neighboring the farm, and thought it would interest him. Well, come to find out a few days later when my dad saw him, he told his friend what we had seen. He said the guy got very serious and told him he had several encounters with this light in the past, but never told anyone about it in fear of people, thinking he was going crazy. I know it wasn't human with a flashlight. I know it wasn't a drone. And I don't know of any animals that are capable of this. I do have a guess, though, after hours of research. I came across Native American folklore that spoke about orbs of light that protect and guide white-tailed deer. I always wonder if that is what we saw, and it was trying to show us where his deer was. So it didn't go to waste, 100 yards in.